more. This is your real chance to act ahead, so don't delay. Your future may depend on it. Call 718-615-0123 to learn more. That's 718-615-0123. Or visit freetoprosper.com today.
In a world where corrupt oppressors and oligarchs have seized control of the populations, total tyranny is amongst us. The burden of humanity rests on our shoulders. The only way out is to expose the global crime syndicate known as the New World Order. Together, we are all one. Together, we are Intel soldiers. The battle for free humanity ensues. Join us in the fight. TheIntelHub.com.
Secure your future. Get your non-hybrid seed pack now. With the looming economic crisis, food shortages, and other toxic disasters, now is the time to be ready. Just click on the Heirloom Organics banner at the top of our Blog Talk Radio page today. Secure your future and the future of your family in hard times. Heirloom Organic Seeds.
Hi, this is Bob Tuskin. Tune into my show, Truth Be Told Radio, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
You are listening to the Intel Hub News Network, crushing the New World Order piece by piece.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the air with Michael Roberts. If you guys want to call in with any questions or comments, the number to call is 877-598-8549. That's 877-598-8549. We'd love to hear from you. Now, Griff, you know, this in and of itself has kind of, let's just say it's thrown a flag up in my head. Could this be a significant enough tipping point to start a chain reaction of events that may actually cause some change?
It may be. I doubt it. I don't know that you can organize the people to take action. But there's one thing I do want to ask you, Michael, before we run out of time. The chemtrail issue. What are your thoughts, and what do you feel comfortable saying about the so-called chemtrails?
You know, I honestly don't have a whole lot of. I can't speak very knowledgeably on that. You know, I guess if you were a little more specific about what specifically, but.
Michael, I
haven't paid a lot of attention to this past month. I've obviously been busy with everything. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to talk about is you have contrails, which are and then you have persistent contrails.
Right. They're aerosol units outfitted on aircraft. In the beginning, about 10 years ago, the CIA aircraft were used to aerosol the skies. And now under Project Cloverleaf, many private aircraft, civilian airliners have been outfitted. Usually the laboratory crews load and maintain the internal chemistry on the aircraft. Many of the pilots don't even know they're doing it. The control is not with the pilot. It's probably satellite controlled. But the aircraft is doing it. They're aerosoling primarily a barium mixture with aluminum across the skies.
Right. I have heard of this, and all I can say is I'm woefully ignorant of it, I guess, because I've only kind of read about it, and I know there's a controversy about it out there. But I guess my biggest question would be why? What's their purpose for doing this?
It's a Navy program. It's managed by the Navy. It's out of Wright-Patterson, and it was started 10 years ago for battlefield imaging. And if you Google search the initials RFMP, it's Radio Frequency Mission Planner, RFMP. And then it was specifically designed for the sub-program called VTRPE, Variable Terrain. It's a sub-program within that system. It enables the military to do three-dimension battlefield imaging. It also enables them to dominate RF over land terrain and a multitude of other things. It creates a ducting effect of radio waves, but it goes way beyond that. It's really has been for 10 years a mystery to me that many of the pilots that are actually flying the aircraft, emitting barium trails behind them, don't know they're doing it. I don't know how that can be.
Well, if it's happening on my airplane, I don't know about it because we order fuel on the radio. We tell them how much fuel we need, and honestly, most of the time our operations people do that for us. We look at the paperwork. We review the flight plan, make sure that we agree with the amount of fuel that they order.
Michael. It's not in the fuel. It's not in the fuel. It's a separate system. Usually the aerosol nozzles are proximity to the exhaust of the engine, so it appears to be coming out of the engine.
Let me say this. I know my airplane, and if that's true, I know the systems. I know the engine. I have studied, the schematic diagrams, and I know if you open it up and we go inside and look under the cowling, I can tell you what most major parts are. If there is a part in there that they put in there along the lines of what you're saying, it was not included in the training program when I went through and learned about the airplane. And
it's a very secretive thing. You would not normally come in contact with it.
I'm not saying they don't do that. I'm saying that's something they do and don't tell us about. So like I said, I really cannot speak knowledgeably about it. But if that's true, it's messed up. That's all I can say. And so it sounds like, if I understand correctly, they need to put this stuff in the air so that they can create a three-dimensional map of the whole atmosphere.
Well, it's much more than that. It's actually much more than that, but it's causing great health effects, disastrous health implications all over the country, respiratory problems, and just a multitude of health issues, including the aluminum, which is measured as hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over EPA lethal standards.
Huh. Yeah.
And it's coming out of the aircraft.
I hate to get on the radio and sound like I don't know something, but I don't know a whole lot about that. So, I'll if I ever have time again, when things calm down, I'll definitely check it out because that doesn't sound very nice at all.
And a lot of people don't. And that's the thing is, it's just one of those things that you kind of just, to me, it's believing your eyes when you look up in the sky and there's a plane going overhead, and one of them's got a little short contrail, and the next one's got a longer extended contrail. You got to say, well, what the heck is the difference? What's going on here? But really, if we are, these are the questions that we have to pose and raise about, and the airport security, most certainly, the invasion of and the gross violation of our.
Are you still there? I just lost you.
Here.
Hey, guys.
Hear me? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you are. I got you back.
Yeah, no, the gross violation of our Fourth Amendment rights, these ideas that government can regulate every facet of our life, we have to, it's our duty as American citizens to question and to make sure that we hold these public servants and folks, even the TSA, they take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. And look at them. Look at them right off the bat. Right off the bat. You know, Michael, they're right off the bat. Fourth Amendment out the door. I think it was that Tyner gentleman.
Right, John Tyner.
John Tyner, yeah. Who when you buy a ticket, you give up your rights. You know that, right?
That's what they told him. Yeah.
Can you believe it? I mean, really?
Well, yeah, I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it because when I had my incident back in on October 15th, I raised some constitutional questions with them. I asked there was a TSA investigator there, and I asked him, or actually he asked me if I had a problem with these new procedures, and I said, yes, I do have a problem with my constitutional rights and liberty being violated. And he said, well, that's irrelevant. That was his response to me. Okay, well, it's not irrelevant to me, buddy. And then I asked another guy the question about, what's going to happen, what new procedures are going to be implemented when somebody, smuggles a bomb in their rectum, like we were talking about earlier. After Richard Reed tried to set his feet on fire, everybody's got to take their shoes off. Then there was the Christmas bomber, crotch bomber. Everybody's got to go through the scanners and be felt up physically, their crotch and their groin and buttocks and all that. So what's the next step if somebody tries to smuggle something, internally? Obviously, the next logical thing would be cavity searches. And his response was, well, would you rather have those people get on your plane? And I said, no, but, there's probably better ways to keep them off of the airplane. In fact, there are. It's not probably. There are better ways that don't violate, the rights of citizens and so forth. And I told him, I said, and I don't even see that as the immediate threat. I think the threat that we're facing right now that's more in our face is this violation of our constitutional rights and liberty. And his response, now this was the police supervisor there or the TSA supervisor, his response was, well, somebody has already taken that from us. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, sir, you are, a civil servant.
Yeah. What
is your job if it's not to protect our rights and liberties? If you don't affirm our rights and liberties as an officer of the law or a security officer for the government, if you don't affirm the public's rights and liberties, and that that's what you're trying to protect and defend, what are you doing here? What is the purpose of your function? And I can only assume that it's to keep everybody in line.
And if that's the case, Michael, let's take it a step farther, right? If you violate that oath and you suppress the rights of the American people, suppress their constitutional rights, would that not constitute treason in some way, shape, or form?
It absolutely is treason. It absolutely is treason. These people are traitors, and they have already infiltrated the United States government. And, man, I feel like I'm talking like some kind of conspiracy theorist wacko here, but this is really happening. This is really happening. They are really forcing law-abiding citizens who wish to travel by air to get naked inside these machines that, dump who knows how much radiation onto your body.
Right.
And if you refuse that, well, then they're going to put their hands all over you. And even, minors, teenage girls have started crying, and that's like their first sexual experience is at the airport and out in public. This is really happening today in America.
That's right. It most certainly
is. Tell me they're not. Don't tell me they're not traitors. Don't tell me this isn't treason. It absolutely is treason.
It is treason.
The answer is not just simply to, take these people out of office and replace them with somebody else. Let's just take our country back. We don't need this much government. It's dangerous to have this much government. We do not. We can take care of ourselves just fine. The TSA has not foiled one terrorist plot since 9/11. Every single event that's been in the news has been handled by the citizens on board the airplane, either the travelers, the passengers, or the crew, or both. The TSA has never, had a part to play in any of the major events that you've heard about in the news since 9/11. So they serve no purpose other than, evil.
Yeah,
what about the air guards? Where's the guy that's supposed to be on the plane that has the gun? To your knowledge, are there actually what do they call them? Air guards or air sheriff?
Air marshal.
Air marshal? Are there air marshals on any of the planes that you've gone and flown? Because my understanding is they're supposed to be on every plane.
No, they're not on every plane, and there are fewer of them. I have seen fewer of them recently, but